There we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, I can't believe it's been another 2 weeks and we're back into the Sim Racing MSA Cup Championship hosted by Logistical Nightmare Racing. I gotta admit, I never anticipated a wet Hungaroring, but we are where we are. Currently just checking out the boys on the track at the moment, just doing a few warm-up laps while they try and figure out where is the best places to get some grip on every single corner. Now Hungaroring is one of the tightest tracks that we have during this championship, so qualifying and where you are is going to be the penultimate choice, whether you might hit that podium, get a win and do a better race scenario. So everyone joining on the chat, welcome to you all. So we got Sarko, Paul Fenter, Nico Nell, Brando, and then of course Alvin going, let's go, Stephen Donkey Vessels, who's the man we've got on the screen at the present moment, doing some hot laps at this stage, burning it out there. Seems to be the fastest man during practice, which is a great start because he had a phenomenal drive last week. Ooh, bit of a slip of slide there coming out of the fastest corner. Looking down the track, we're also looking at De Jager, and then surprisingly now H. Boyce here being the man on the mix, and I'm gonna go why he is the man at this present stage. I mean, if you have to check out what is currently happening, this individual is leading the championship thus far, which is fantastic at the present moment. And I'm going to see if I can pull that up here for a second, just to get you guys an overview of where we stand with the championship. Now, it's been phenomenal at the present stage, but from a championship standings, this is where we are. As you can see, Boyce there on top of the log, and he's definitely hitting it off, where we have the rest of the groups trying to follow and get as much as they can, just to see whether they are and can be crowned as the ACC MSA Cup Championship at Logistical Nightmare Racing. Now, I nearly pronounced that horribly wrong, but seeing where we are points, Boyce top one with 86, Farmer in position 2 with 82, Peterson in 81, then of course closely followed by Esterhuizen, Heineke, Strydom, Wall, Donaldson, Pretorius, and then closing the top 10 off is Robotha. Now that is a phenomenal move on championship standings throughout the season. So I'm just gonna go good luck. This is round 3. 2 races have been done and dusted. Everything was absolutely phenomenal in last week's race. This week, I don't know. I mean, looking at the weather conditions, as I said, this is extremely wet at the moment. Track temperature is in the high 27s, so we'll definitely keep an eye out at how these boys do. While we looking around, I'm just gonna go and give a warm welcome and thank you to, of course, our sponsors. So this is a time to say happy KA, thanks sponsors for everything you've done, and of course we wouldn't be here without MSA. So here we go. Here we go back into the race. So just checking out what the boys are saying on the YouTube stream. Henry Mayer putting it out there saying his money is on Carter, who is the man we are currently watching heavily being chased down by a Ferrari. He's now driving in his McLaren car number 33, hitting the benches and the free practice as best as he can. Now, I don't know if that's gonna happen because Fleming Bauer throwing it back at Henry, going to crash. A sneaky comment there. But a good laugh to make it up. A few more seconds to go before we're gonna hit the qualifying session. This is gonna be one of those epic qualifying individuals. It's gonna challenge the drivers on track. It is definitely wet. I assume it's gonna stay wet for qualifying and probably stay wet for the race as well. We've had 2 dry races from the beginning. This is the middle stint of the championship, and the boys have got to challenge themselves today by managing the wetness. So give it a few moments and we will be right back. I think having fun. Love you. Qualifying session has started off, as you can see at the present moment. Again, on the viewpoint with Palmer, the man currently in second place for the championship. To those that of you who have joined, welcome back. This is Logistical Nightmare Racing MSA Season 2 Cup Championship for 2024. So 50 minutes of qualifying sessions. These boys are doing that at the moment. Again, as I predicted, it's gonna be wet. There is a hint whereby the weather pattern will slightly change. It does look like it will get a bit lighter from a rain perspective, but I truly do not think that these boys will have any patch of dryness. I reckon we're all on wet tires at the moment. Farmer is out now. Ahead of him, I believe, if I saw that properly, is Vessels. So Vessels in the top of his form throughout the championship, doing phenomenally well. Now it doesn't seem like that from a points position, but he has been entertaining throughout. Last week's race was just absolutely phenomenal with him. Now he's going to start kicking it off with his lap. He is the man that put it up there during the practice session. You've seen what times he can do. So I'm going to keep a close eye on him as he heads down into corner 1. Slightly tricky. You got to get your brake markers perfectly well executed, going all the way down the hill again, where you enter like a double apex left-hand turn. Gotta get that car on the left-hand side before you go full throttle down the right hand. And this is where it gets quite tricky, because kind of like a blind left-hand turn with full speed in some instances. Now most individuals will probably gear down at least 1 or 2 gears before they enter that corner, just to settle the car. And then of course we've got another nerving right-hander followed by a S chicane. Gotta get that first one right. And this is where there's tricky. The sector 2 trickiness of Hungaroring. It's all about speed, but finesse, and simultaneously managing the car to get as much grip as you can throughout the corner. This is where you make or break your time throughout the lap itself. Now everyone thinks it's down the straight where you are on the straight. It definitely is not. The tricky sector 2 is one of the most difficult obstacles that you have to go through. And then of course we have this final U-turn in sector 3, which is just as hard, because you gotta have so much patience and understand when to put your foot down the throttle to get as much speed as you need. And there we go, Vessels puts it up with a 51.1. Farmer, on the other hand, is about 1.5 seconds off of the pace. Reineke challenging it up, immediately challenged by Donaldson there, who's about 3/10 off the Vessel's pace. Donaldson, out of nowhere, brings it out. Norkia in the mix there as well, just 6/10 off the East pace. Which means this is definitely going to be one of those races where everyone's going to do phenomenally well. Now, where is Esterhazen? Esterhazen is in the final sectors of the race. Now, he looks like he's being slightly impeded there by a Ferrari. He's not going to have the best time he wants. It's challenging to fight for a qualifying lap while you have a car ahead of you. Don't know if this is going to be very, very itchy coming out there, but Esterhazen brings it down to nearly 0.08 of a second. That is phenomenally close. So we definitely have the boys fighting it out. Raylan breaks it, and I don't know why all my liveries are so terrible today. Have I missed something? Is there something I need to figure out? Because all I see is black guards everywhere else, and that is not what I was supposed to be seeing at all. For some strange reason, everything is just not the way I would have expected it to be. I'm going to do a bit of logging on in the background just to understand whether there's something new, something different. Because for some strange reason, all the liveries that I would have expected to be updated this afternoon is just not there. Just not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing. I've updated everything on my end. Did as much as I could from every other aspect, but all I see is black car. Nonetheless, that is not where we are at the moment. Let's just look at the cars and the racing. Let's just see if I can pick up on someone else. Yeah, there is a couple of good liveries here and there. Ike Sky, no, I see that. It's totally black. This is very uncolorful at the moment. I have a funny feeling I have done something horribly wrong this time around. It did update everything as per process, unless there is definitely something I've missed. But again, enough of me. Let's go back to the racing. Hey, Grayling is the man to beat. He has out-qualified Vessels at this moment with the Aston Martin. Not a big surprise to me. Vessels up there, Donaldson up there, Esterhazen also up there. Farmer, on the other hand, is up by 3/10 at the present moment, doing as much as he can to get within the top 3, hopefully the first spot position. I don't think he's going to do that much, but if he keeps it up where he is at this moment, he will definitely fall in within that 3rd or 4th place. Now that depends how he can get out of this corner. Yep, definitely 4th place as it was and predicted. More back at the grid, the yard here for Griffin Sim Racing. He's pulled up a few tenths of a second. That will definitely push him up the ladder. By how much? That is to be determined. Oof, not by that much. Got a little bit closer. Danoon in the other end, coming out of the final sector. He's down by 3.3 seconds to the race leader, or the leading qualifying, but he's up by 1 second, so brings him up to 15th spot. See if there's anyone else improving apart from Vessels, who wants that front position. This is where it gets tricky. As I've said, he's currently about 3/10 up within the first sector. Now it's just maintaining the speed, use as much grip as he can get out of these S's, which is very hard not to go too wide. A bit of a rear end slide there as he came out of the corner. Didn't impede him that much. Gets the brake marker right. Looks like beautiful exit out of there. Still a bit slippery, so you can see that the weather is really adding more difficulty as the boys try and get as much as they can. Up by 2/10. Can he hold it on? Because it will get him closer to Freyland, but not that podium position that he would want for. Definitely breaks a few barriers. Freyland is the man to beat today with the Aston Martin. No idea where that man came from or in what world he arrived from. Paul Venter on the other hand. See, I've got like half liveries here and there. Something has gone horribly wrong at some of the point with my liveries. Paul Venter currently in 6th. He's off by a second at the moment. He also wants to get into the top 5 position. Looking smooth through the S's. It all depends on where he goes from there. On chat at the moment, we got Ashley going, "We love you too, boss man. Love you all, boys. Appreciate the love and support." Racing can come back in. There's still time. I think I need to do that though. A good racing can come back in and then see where we are. I don't know if I've got enough time for that. The Mustang looks mean, says Sarko Bago, Boy Millie's hybrid Munna. So everyone's telling me that I still have time to get in and get out and get better liveries. I really want to do that. I'm not so sure that it's going to be the best thought process idea. 4 minutes. Let's see. I can probably. I want to see the qualifying. Who does not want to see the qualifying? Just absolutely got Kraylan out there at the moment. He is trying to beat his time, but at this present moment he is full on matching his time that he made initially. Spot on nearly a 150 flat. Will he be able to break it? I am not 100% certain. A 149 would be ideal. That will really secure his spot in the first podium position for a qualifying session. But he is being heavily chased down by Vessels, Venter, Farmer, Norkia, and Donaldson. Everyone doing a lot better than what they were before, even though, and it's definitely going to be a close battle. Now that, whether that is because the track conditions has lessened the rain at the moment, I reckon we are going to see that 49, and I'm hoping for that 48 too, because everyone at this time in the depth of the last 3 minutes is pushing very hard for a brilliant lap. Again, currently looking at Paul Venter, and just based on his delta, he is up by 0.8 of a second into the final 2 corners. This does look like a beautiful lap from him. If he can pull it off, squeeze it through, do not exit too far. Aston Martin on the move, and he hits it. 149.6. Brilliant drive by him. This means everyone's going to go out there. They know that it's quicker. They know that it wants to be fast. Rain is slowly going away. With less rain, the track is more grippier. Again, Craylen coming up to challenge Paul Venter. Is this going to be an Aston 1-2 for the starting positions? Can Craylen out-qualify Paul Venter? Oh, that was so close. He's gonna do another lap again because he nearly made that. Vessels on the other hand, again, outfitted. He is so quick in the first sector. That Mustang is phenomenally fast in the first sector. Just keeps on putting it down every single time in the first sector. Unbelievable. Esterhazy on the other end is up for a massive increase on position. Currently all the way down to 11. This is not where I'm expecting to see this man performing. Is he gonna break it into the top 5? Puts it down, top 5. What a drive. What a drive. He's still got one more option to go. Paul Venter has decided that's it. He's in the pit. That is the best he can hit it down. He is for surely going to be challenged. This man is hungry for a podium. Norkia, on the other hand, also up there finally. He's got one more opportunity after this if he pulls it down. Not a great improvement by him. Vessels on the other hand, final sector, 17 seconds left to go. Needs to push it as hard as he can, slowly out of the corner, get a proper exit. He's only 6/10 of what Paul Venter is. I have no idea how Paul Venter and Craylen managed to pull it off, but they just did what was done. Vessels does not improve. Esterhazy, final push from him. Let's see what he can pull out. Craylen gone nowhere but second. He's finished in the pit. Norkia trying to beat that. Vessels is the only one that's pushing very hard on track for that final squeeze. He needs to get that Porsche into or between the two Astons to make them suffer throughout the race. Again, this is Hungaroring. Where you put your car on your grid, qualifying is probably where you will end up unless something goes horribly wrong. Let's just see where he finishes up. Gets into the top 3. Didn't squeeze it between the two Aston Martin, but he got ahead of Norkia. Donaldson on the other end trying to finish it off. Anyone else on the grid? No one at the moment apart from Dean. And I think this man is just going to go through to the pit box and close it off because that is done and dusted. What a qualifying session. Let's just see if we can get information on that and come back. So I've got a few minutes.
We have some slippery curves, and also watch out for your braking distance.
I'm going to try and do a quick in and out. There we go, there we go. Well, gave it a go, went out, came back in 23 seconds before the race will actually start. This was a phenomenal qualifying sessions for individuals that has seen it, watched it. Paul Painter put it on the podium for the first time in this championship. He is going to be chased down by Graylen, Esterhuizen, Norkier, and then of course Vessels closing it off in 5th spot. What a race. This is, hold on to everything you have, because I think for the next 60 minutes is going to be the challenge of a challenge. Everyone back in stream, everyone going boy millies. We are there. And it's a go all the way through. Paul Fader gets a phenomenal start there. He is hunted down by Graylen and Esterhuizen, and the Porsche is quick off the mark there. Steven bringing it in on the inside line. What a deep dive. That has really been a move of the century. Vessels brings it on. Paul Fader loses 2 to 3 spots, breaking it down, being very cautious. Graylen took the spot. Paul Painter back into 2nd place. Don't know what happened, but Vessels, I reckon Vessels really had that spot. What a move out of nowhere, came out of nowhere and then just ran forward. Everything will be hunky-dory, couple of connects here and there, contact between cars at the start of the race. This will happen. It's wet, it is tough, and visually they will really struggle to see anything. Dino here comfortable in 4th spot. Donaldson sits it down in 5th. Vessels settled back into 6th place, followed by Farmer in 7th. Sky out of nowhere in 8th spot with the Lexus. Boyce, the current championship leader, in 9th. And then we got the Flavius closing it off in 10th position. This is lap 1, 60 minutes of racing, but strategies will take into effect, and everyone at the moment is buckled down behind Paul Fainter. Graylen has managed to create a gap of just over a second to Paul, and that is because of a phenomenal start. And I think Paul was very hesitant into the turn 1 because he was bombarded by a host of individuals that tried to overtake him on that corner. How he managed to pull it back into getting his 2nd position is, I don't know, unbelievable. That's where I'm going. Unbelievable. I should have just gone and watched the replay just to get a better understanding of what did occur. But everything's slowly settling in at the present state. Paul Fainter going his merry way. Behind him we have Esterhuizen, who is looking quite comfortable in 3rd position. Now he will be quicker into the snaky S section, purely just because it's a Porsche, and for some other strange reason Assist has a lot of grip. That's going to be quite tricky to manage though, because it will have a snappy rear coming out of certain corners. If you don't manage that properly, it will lose control and kick you from out of nowhere. It's just a beast of that car it is. Donaldson in the Ferrari, as you saw on the screen, had a small snap there. Incidentally, Farmer on the other hand, he is being chased down by the Lexus from Sky. And again, this is probably the highest position point I have ever seen Sky throughout the championship. So he is trying to pull back and gain some valuable points for this evening. Farmer and Boyson from championship standings is the ones that need to do as much as they can, because it's all about how do you do this? How do you manage it? For those that have just joined, welcome. This is LNR MSA Season 2 Cup Championship. We are at Round 3 Hungaroring. As you can see, it is a wet race. Championship-wise, these boys, who we currently need to look at, has to battle as hard as they can to get to maintain their current positions. And when I say positions, I'm going visually. This is where they need to. I mean, 2 races down the drain, 2 more to go. And again, this is including this one. Next race will be a phenomenal race as well. Let's just see where we are on the final races. That will be 2 weeks from now. Silverstone in 14 days. Final race. Ooh, big hiccup there by Donaldson. I'm going to go and see if I can find what has happened to the man. He is going all the way down the radar. Where is Donaldson? Back in the mix. I am going to go a few seconds back just to see if I can see what occurred to him. I definitely saw a hiccup from him. He's all the way to 14th place. Looked well. Everything good and dandy through the S's. Got the BMW ahead of him, which was Norkia. Oh, just too deep on the outskirts of the S's and lost the momentum. That means he had to come back onto the race. Brilliant comeback from him. Very visually aware of who was around him. Now he's down into 14th position, and I can certainly believe that he will have some damage. That was just absolutely unfortunate. Running in the top 5 all the way down to 14th position just because of a hiccup. And that can happen. That is what makes it so hard. These boys are fighting for grip, corner by corner. You go too wide on one of the corners and you will have 0 grip on that rear end, and all the car will do is turn you all the way around. Norkia here trying to fight it out with Esterhazy. It does look like he's very close this time around. He needs to find a way to pass Esterhazy, and I can agree Esterhazy is not going to make it easy for him at all. So this is going to be a battle to watch as we move out. You can just see how that course slowly moves away from him through the tricky S's. It's got so much grip. But when it comes down to the straight, it will not have the speed that it needs to have. But that has been the challenge throughout the series. It started off at I was about to say Nürburgring, and that is just that is just terrible. We started off at round 1 at the Red Bull Ring, not Nürburgring. It's a different ring, but we started off at Red Bull Ring, and you could see that the horse really struggled to find its finesse there. And during that race, Esterhazy managed a 2nd position. He did chase down Sean Strader, who is not racing this evening, and then we had Welling and Harders that did very well. After that, we went off to Watkins Glen. During Watkins Glen, Esterhazy managed a 10th place. So today he's in his podium position, again in his element. It's all about how does he finish it off this time around. Had a slight hiccup at Watkins Glen, it caused him to lose positions and so forth. But I think today he's got his game face on and ready to hit it down the track. To the lead. Now if you look at the current leader from perspective, Kraylin's current racing throughout this season has been phenomenal. Started off again, so going back where he is, Red Bull Ring was a 3rd place position for him. Great start where the season started off. Round 2 was was probably not one of his best races, because I cannot see him being there. He just didn't manage to join and couldn't participate in the second race, which is why he's not on the top end of it. But he's back at it again. This is round 3. Car is fixed up. Everything's hunky-dory to go. He's got a 2.5 second delta over Paul Venter and the rest of the grid. So he's moving along very swiftly. 15 minutes of the race, and I reckon it's going to be phenomenal where he finishes it. Just going back to the battle, we still have these 3 contenders giving it all they can at the moment. Esterhuizen fighting off both Norkia and Vessels. Now Vessels looking quite comfortable. I think he's just going to sit back right where he is and see what happens ahead of him, because he doesn't want to get in too close just in case Esterhuizen and Norkia makes contact. Now if any of those 2 boys touch each other, they will certainly lose track position. There's no choice about it. Oh, Esterhuizen fighting it out. That opens up the gap there for Norkia. Norkia looks on the inside. Esterhuizen closes off. A little bit of argy-bargy there. Bumping is racing. That's perfectly good. That brings Vessels into the mix. Vessels going on the outskirts for Norkia. Takes the position from Norkia. Norkia's eyes was big when he saw the fumble from Esterhuizen. Couldn't capitalize on it at all. Esterhuizen refused to let him through. And again, this is GT3 racing. Vessels saw the opportunity and said, thank you, I will take that from you. And now he's gonna go and chase a Porsche down. What a move, what a way to make it happen through the difficult moments and locations of the track. Unbelievable. This is racing, boys. This is racing. As I said, hold on to your hats. It is going to be phenomenal. Through the back end of the grid, we've got Favirgia. It looks like he's got a bit of damage on that bonnet, but he's managing to hold off both Pretorius and Heineke. Currently in 10th and 11th position. Followed by Sander Jerfer there in his Porsche, and then Donaldson, who had an incident previously. He's back into 13th position, and he's got another Ford on his rear end. Mr. Ferreira doing quite well, so there is a bit of midfield battles here and there, which is good to see the intensity of it. Boyser, on the other hand, fallen a bit back. Not 100% certain what has occurred to Boyson for him to fall back so far. Everything's looking interesting, and where we are. So refueling allowed, mandatory, no pits. Pit stop count is not there this week. Everything's vastly different from what I would have expected. So every racer can race all the way through without doing any pit stop. Now that is a subtle change. If we look at Vessels that look on the inside of Esterhuizen, and he will definitely do so. Throughout the qualifying session, we saw that Ford being predominantly quick in the first sector. It has the pace, it has the speed advantage over the Porsche. And again, this is the section where the Porsche will dominate the game. It's gonna get Vessels to work very hard to stay on his rear end with the limited visibility he has. Is what we call technical skill, and I'm going to just give it to you guys. Technical skills. Let's look at what it looks like from is Vessel's peripheral view. You can see the Porsche right there in his view, water bouncing off his windscreen the whole time, and he has to manage that throughout this difficult section at Hungaroring. Lost a bit of momentum as he went through it, but he is as close as he can be. Probably not as close as he wanted to be though. Here lost a few momentum. He sat back a little bit now. He is now about 3 seconds off the pace of the two ahead of him, and they are trying to close down on Paul Venter. It just seems like the Aston Martins are very strong there at Hungaroring, which is not what I would have expected. Again, quite a surprise though. This is the battle on for third place. Again, Vessels keeps on the inside as they are going to work their way through a couple of back models. So we have a Porsche and an Aston Martin. That must probably be the Jager. Does the Jager see them coming through? The Jager, on the other hand, he's got a 10-second penalty provided by the stewards. He has to know that he is seeing all the blue flags all over him. He is trying to maintain his own race, but at the same time, needs to get out of the way. Moves far to the left-hand side, lets the two through. Phenomenal back by the Jager. Next on the mix there is an Aston Martin Wall, who will be the next lot that these guys are going to battle it through, but going to the back end of the pack. This is a 5-way battle currently for 8, 9, 10, for 8th position. We have Pavis trying to fend off Pretorius, Heineke, Van der Heever, and Donaldson. Oh, big mistake there by Pavis. Keeps it tight though. Closes the door on Pretorius instantaneously. That opens up the door for Heineke. Heineke has a slight peek look as whether he can make a move. Decides to stay away. So Faviv under immense pressure there with these for the hybrid racing team. Again, Pretorius going on the outside. Faviv covering the inside line, stopping any momentum that he can get or maintain. Moves across the racing line. This is him in full defense mode. That Porsche doesn't have the straight line speed. But we have another battle at the back inside. This is not finished. This is Heineke versus Donaldson. Donald looking on the inside, going on the outside. Beautiful move if he gets this executed though. Closes the door a bit there on Heineke. I think he went a bit too deep, he turned a bit too much in. Let me just get that right. A bit too much in. Again, 4-way battle if I've ever seen one. Porsche on the move there to lead. BMW looks on the outskirts. I don't think this is the best place to make a move, because it's one of the fastest left-hand turns that you've got to make. You're going to do that, you will have big kahunas in order to do so. Oh, big mistake there between Donaldson and Van der Heever. Go back a few seconds here, let's just see what happens. Oh, slight outbreak there by Donaldson. Catches the rear end of Heineke. Heineke then washes out on the outskirts of the track and now needs to recollect himself all the way through. Again, back at 10th position. Pretorius, 14th, sorry. Dalgar will pick up quite soon. So poor Heineke has lost a few positions throughout the battle. It was going to be tough. Here's another one looming as we see. Pretorius goes on the inside. Simultaneously, so does Donaldson. Donaldson takes the position from Faviv and Pretorius. They have now gone ahead of the man I did not expect so many people making moves throughout this racetrack. But it is where it is at this moment. Donaldson making big moves. Funny here for also sitting there at the back. He's got the peak of a view on taking Favier. Favier just looks like he's got a bit of damage. He is slower than most individuals at the moment. So he is slightly holding up the guys behind him. Everyone seemingly into the 53, 54 range, whereas Favier is really struggling. Darko gang, he hit him hard. Yeah, well, that was an incident that was probably not planned. Again, accidental incidents is what I'm going with. Donaldson is a bit frustrated though, because he was in the top 5 not so long ago when we started this race session off. Had a small fumble which caused him to fall all the way to the back of the grid, and he's fighting to get all the way back to where he was, and that is going to be a challenge for him to do so. Not an easy task at all, considering the conditions we have on racetrack today. 40 minutes of racing left. Everyone still going their merry way. Pretorius has got a 15-second penalty. I'm uncertain for what that is, but he is trying to work his way to creating a gap to the front of the grid. We still have Esterhazy versus Vessels. Vessels, the man with the grunt on him, he's got the pace, but Esterhazy, the man that is determined this week not to lose as much as he did. Ooh, as we see a big fumble there by Vessels, completely outbraked himself and lost all momentums he has had. That has freed up Esterhazy to at least take a bit of a breather. 15 seconds back just to see, oh, big slide there by him. Massive slide. Now I'm gonna go to Farmer versus Boersma. Now these two boys have slowly created their own fight here. Boersma in the Aston, hunting down Farmer from a race standpoint. Farmer is the man that is currently in second position for the championship, so he's got a lot to fight for and win. Look at where we are from results position. Farmer originally in the Red Bull Ring, finished in 3rd place on round 1. Phenomenal drive by him. Very quiet in the background, but he has done what needed to be done during the course of that race. And then in Watkins Glen, as he's being pushed, as he loses the position to Boersma. Boersma takes it on the inside, goes way too deep. That opens the door back up for Farmer. Farmer hunting, holding it down, never giving up. Inside line look there by Boersma, holds it back, didn't take a nosedive for the corner. Very clever. Again, risky moves will cause you to lose a lot more than just one position. But this does look like Boersma is really being the aggressor here. Farmer on the other hand just being very calm, cool and collected there. Taking it easy, not really going into a defending mode, which is very clever in all fairness. I mean, it is a wet track. Going beyond the racing line is just going to cause you to slip a lot more. So keeping focus on what the racing line is, where the grip is for him, whilst trying to hold Boersma behind him is definitely seemingly a challenge. As I said, it just looks like from an Aston Martin point of view, this car is phenomenal at the track. Just saying that. We've got two leading guys at the present stage, both Kralin and Fenter, doing very, very well in their Astons. Now, of course, Kralin is about 6 seconds ahead of Paul Fenter, but it is two Astons leading the race for the last 25 minutes. Again, back on to where Farmer has ended off. Ooh, sneak eye there. So Farmer round 2. Where did he finish off? Where is my data on what Farmer did in round 2? Came in 4th position. So again, both situations, the man finished in the top 5 and he's hoping to do so again today. The last thing I think he needs is another drop and in position. I don't think we'll hurt him that bad. He is really doing phenomenal this championship. I don't think there's anything more than that to the situation. But this is where the battle is. While they fight it out, I am going to take a quick moment just to say big thanks to our sponsors. Again, we are here because of them, and simultaneously also a big thanks to the MSA for allowing us to host a championship season where we will crown the first MSA Cup champion for Logistical Nightmare Racing on ACC. And that went absolutely everywhere. Back into the race. See where we are. Bushmar versus Farmer. Bushmar did make a move on Farmer. Has managed to capitalize on that. Took him a couple of laps to do so. Farmer on the other hand. Ooh, big slide there by him. That's going to lose him a bit of momentum. He is now the man not defending, but the man chasing. And is Bushmar going to be in a position to at least make a few seconds on Farmer as we go back for these? Not really. We're being silenced by Thunder Yearford, but simultaneously Thunder Yearford has got Ferrara. Does have Ferrara and Boyson in close proximity, so there's another battle brewing here between 4 racing drivers. Both of these, who I've said has been very slow, and I think he's got some damage that is causing him to be that slow. Ferrara on the other hand is trying to fend off Thunder Yearford, but simultaneously being aware that Boycer is still in the mix. Boycer, the current championship leader for our series here at LNR, currently in 13th place. But Ferrara, the man with another Ford, the second Ford on track, apart from Bezos, doing the best he can moving forward. Again, this is for 10th spot. So a bit of a flash there from him to Fabrice. Fabrice seems to be the man on my screen for most of the screen, which is quite interesting. Keep it real, boys. Keep it interesting. Make me see where the races are. Kind of where I'm setting at. Anywhere where there's races in close proximity is where fun and entertainment will be. From a rain point of view, the track is still wet. And if I say wet, it's quite rainy at this stage. It doesn't seem like it's going to change at all. Track temperature has gone down slightly, which has cooled the track a bit. Everyone battling for grip left, right and center, and then the fight is on throughout the race. Mortier in 17th, I have no idea what has happened to him. He has definitely dropped, but simultaneously he's gone into the pit box. So Nokia went to the pit box, did a few changes. He has more grip than everyone else, but he is sitting right there at the back, going around the corner around it. This is going to be tight. There will be contact by the two drivers, more contact between them. This is a darty fight between two drivers. One Porsche went off, and that is, I don't know who that was. But big battle between Nokia and Carter there, fighting in our pole position. Carter just didn't want to let him have it at all. Which again, all is fair in love and war. Going to the front of the grid, Esterhuizen has managed to catch up to Paul Fenter, which is a new interesting. Now Paul Fenter is the fastest man on track. He set the quickest time of a 1:51.3, which is 1/10 quicker than Esterhuizen. But in general, over the last couple of laps, Esterhuizen has been way quicker than what Paul Fenter has done. Apologies, I was wrong on the biggest lap. So biggest lap on the track is a 150.4, not a 151. I was just the last that Paul has done, but simultaneously so has Esterhuizen maxed his time to the T, and Vessels on the other hand is also closing down. So whether Paul Fenter is taking it very easy just to settle his tires down, and again, it doesn't, I'm not so certain whether the pit stop is needed. Based on race settings and all those details that I have from the configuration side, it just doesn't look like there's any mention of pit stop at all, whether it's incorrectly configured or whether it's just the assumption of what the report is. Again, a few drivers did go to the pit box. The Yaka at the moment is in the pit, so it looks like pit requirements is definitely there. Nokia is in 16th place purely because he went to the pit box and he was deep in the top 5. So this is going to get quite interesting as it evolves throughout the race. Back into the mid-back here. The individuals fighting for 10th spot. We still got funny here for Boyce and Ferrara battling it out there with Favir, who is fighting very hard to stay ahead of them all. The man flashing there is a BMW, and I have no clue who that is. Top 3. 27 minutes of racing left. How is this going to evolve? For those that have joined, hello, welcome, thanks for joining. Those on the stream, again, I would appreciate it, and so would the community. If you just go back, hit the like, subscribe button. That will help us and help the sim racers in general. We do this because we love the sport, we love the epicness of it all. Sarko by Dylan, always there, always supporting. I think Sarko by Dylan, you are probably the top end of our highest watcher by far. To be fair, phenomenal, man. I absolutely appreciate the fact that you sit through all of this and listen to my voice the whole time while watching great racing. Thank you, appreciate it. And again, not just him, everyone else. Sarko is just the man that's very, very interactive. Fighting out. Closer than what they were before. Esterhuizen is certainly in the mix there. things running up and down. And again, what we are fighting for is the championship winning points as best we can. Just giving everyone a heads up of what I mean by championship points. These guys are battling about being the best they are, the best they can be from this is where we are from championship positions point. Oyster, Farmer, top three, everyone else in close proximity to that. Definitely want to be the man that takes the cup home at the end of the championship. And now the tables have turned slightly in the battle for the final podium, which evidently started off in position 2. Vessels, on the other hand, has gained back what he has lost not so long ago. He is now also a contender for that second spot. Again, for everyone's refreshing and those that have not seen it, there was a good battle between Esterhazy and Vessel probably about 10 minutes ago. Unfortunately, Vessels lost it through the corner, accidentally braked too late, lost about 4 to 5 seconds, and then slowly managed to gain back what he has lost, while Esterhazy was free to catch up Paul, and now we have a three-way battle in the mix for position 2. Kralen, on the other hand, I need to go and say hi to this man, because from Genesis Esport Racing, he's on a league of his own, to be fair. Like, in all honesty, he started off in second place for the race, did a qualifying session, Paul fainted out, qualified him, he took the lead by the first corner, and in all fairness, no one, absolutely no one, has been in a position to come anywhere close to him. He's driving by himself. This is just a man that's putting on lap after lap and keeping momentum throughout the race. It is up to him to win or lose it by himself. I mean, a slight error will cause him to lose a bit of time, but I don't think it's enough for him to actually lose the race. The battle, on the other hand, is between these three gentlemen. So we got both Painter, Esterhazy, and Vessels. Painter doing as much as he can to keep the quick individuals behind him. There. But simultaneously, they also know that this is not going to be easy at all. Donaldson, on the other hand, he's managed to make a move on Pretorius, so he did pass Pretorius and moved ahead. He's now currently in 8th position, sitting with a 15-second penalty. Now that's going to drop him a bit by the end of the race, which is absolutely unfortunate. The Reeves, on the other hand, is slowly going backwards. Both Pretorius and Ferrara has passed him. He now has Boyson to contend with. Boyson looks to be the aggressor, wanted to make a move there on the outside line, what looked like, and then decided not to do so, which is probably the better choice out of the two. Some individuals going into the pit box. My chat box filling up as much as it can. Vessels there in the mix. I think it's going to be very hard. These guys are really doing similar lap times to one another. There's hardly an inch between them. Like in the last lap itself, they are practically wide. Ooh, big move there by Vessels, goes very, very wide. Did he want to scare Esterhazen a bit, or was that Jeff Vessels making Esterhazen aware that I am here? Because that really looked like he was going to make a big dive into the first corner, and that somehow woken up Esterhazen, because he's like, I am not going to allow you to make a move on me. I'm going to go and make a move on Paul so that he can get that breather, because he's been sitting behind an Aston Martin for a bit. Now, whether that Aston Martin is losing grip or momentum or speed, that is to be determined, because it either looks like the man is tired or very visually aware of what is behind him. Keeps on looking in his rear view mirrors, because he is slightly slower this lap. And again, that could have been because Vessels just made a daring look on the inside to scare Esterhazen off, just to give him that slight nudge and go, let's go boy, let's go. We need to catch Freyland, which is gonna be the hardest thing to do, because as I said, Freyland's a man on his... Ooh, big mistake there by Esterhazen. Comes out. Definitely lost that place to Vessels. Slight hiccup there on the corner exit caused Esterhazen to slide, and that was just absolutely not in his favor. You can take a big look into it. It goes very well in that corner. You see it from an interior point of view. Takes the inside. Ooh, lost it. Whether that was just to avoid getting the rear end of Paul Painter or accidental late break by Esterhazen, what a fumble it was, and a position he lost, and now he's got two guys ahead of him that he needs to pass on to. This is not finished yet. Small mistakes will cost you. Puts a bit of a breather onto Paul Painter, because now he knows Esterhazen will bring it back to Vessels. Bushma, the man at that stage that put down the best lap, which is now the fastest man on track, are Bushma, currently in fifth. He's got Farmer ahead of him. Donaldson's there. Mike Sky is also in the mix in 8th position. He's squeezed in between two individuals at the moment. You know, people are doing pit stops because they don't see a lot of pit stops, and I'll be clever enough if we don't do it, it's technically not needed. But this is a mid-back battle between Sky, Pretorius and Donaldson. Three different distinct classes of car. The Lexus on the other end is a bit of the older generation of GT3 cars on track at the present stage. He's squeezed in between two next generations, Porsche and Ferrari, so it's tough on him for that Japanese engine to do what it needs to do. But the fight is on. Midback is giving it all. Nokia in 15. Pretorius in 9th. Ferrara 10th. Boysa in 11th. Climbing the ladder slowly as it takes. Big inside look there by Pretorius on Sky. Is he going to make the late break maneuver? No. Sky breaks late on the other end. Loses the momentum. That opens it up for Pretorius. Can Pretorius capitalize on the outside line? No, the Lexus gets off very well. Didn't even look like the Lexus lost any momentum with that late break though. So, great defense there by Sky. Nearly lost the position. Pretorius very clever though, not making the move when he needs to. Back to the front of the grid again. So you got Vessels chasing down poor Fainter. Nothing really changing here, apart from not so long ago we had Esterhazen that was chasing poor Mr. Fainter. Now it's quite the opposite. We've got two big guns being hunted down by a German. And this is where that Porsche will just lose time. Just see how it goes all the way backwards down the start finish line. Is shocking. In all fairness, Bushma is not far away. He's coming down the start finishing line, slowly catching up the boys ahead of him. So he is on the move. Another Genesis esports driver making his way up the grid. Slowly but surely. But if he continues what he is doing at the moment, I wish I could see the Delta. Probably within a few seconds by the end of the lap. We've still got 15 minutes of racing left, but a lot of action everywhere else. This is Sky going deep into the defense. I don't even know what that was. Outbreaks himself again, opens up the door for the Porsche. Porsche wants to take the opportunity in there. I gotta go back and just see what the hell was that. Comes out the final exit, goes very deep into that corner, runs down the start finish line. Porsche looks on the inside, goes to defense mode and comes back into the racing line again. And whether that was just to put some wetness on his tire for some grip, I don't know, but it looked like a very, very strange defending mode to me. Just like a bit of maneuvering here and there. And that's between Sky and Pretorius, and the more they battle, the closer these individuals behind them are getting. So again, oh, that was... What has happened there? That's Donaldson for sure. And he is... How is he behind Ferrara? Ferrara is ahead of Donaldson. Something has changed within those few seconds. Apologies for that. It just looked like my Delta was all messed up there for a second or 20. Some strange reason something was not right. The heat is being turned on in the front of the grid. Vessels much closer. So is Esterhazen. This time around, I reckon if they keep this pace throughout this lap, oh, big slide there by him. Pressure being felt for sure. Yeah, that is a close late break move there. Well, it's not even a move, it was just a late break. They nearly touched each other. Which I'm fairly sure their eyes went this wide at that present moment. Both Vestals and Esterhazen's very close to Fainter. Fainter has got a tremendous amount of pressure on him. And I think he knows it for sure. It's being felt. It is there. Final few corners. I reckon this is where it's gonna be. Down the start finish line is where the move's gonna happen. And Aston Martin needs to be on point when it exits at this corner. And Vessels is very close. Brings it out. Start finish. Is he gonna make the move? Ball does not go defensive. Whoa. Keeps the loop. Tries to unsettle Fainter. He did so. Vessels on the inside line. Ball Fainter on the outside. He's got the run into turn 2. But Vessels makes a move. Touch is made. Loses momentum. Opens it up for Esterhazen. And Esterhazen says, thank you, I'll take that. 2 positions lost by Fainter. unfortunate rear end there between the two drivers. Have to go back and check that out. That was absolutely phenomenal. Oh my word. I have just realized now that my microphone was off. So I reckon, I don't know how long it was off for. No one actually heard anything I've been saying all the way through. And just been flicking through the screens throughout the race. That is an absolute disaster. What a mess. This is why they say, keep your eye on your microphone, make sure that the light is on the whole time, and then be in a position to check and speak it. The only thing I've been doing is watching this thrilling action throughout the race, commentating in the background while I am on mute. Huh. Only a minute. Thank you. Why did it go off? I have absolutely no idea. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Only a minute. Dylan, you are the man. I appreciate you thoroughly. Like, in all fairness. Thoroughly. It's action everywhere. So, what have I not mentioned? Bushma has to go for his good drive thing, and I really feel sorry for the man. Vessels and Esterhazy fighting it out. Paul Venter on the other end, he's got to contend with Bushma, but I'm certain he's not going to care because he knows that man has to go for a drive through. 6 minutes of racing left. Ike Sky on the other end, he's got a battle with Pretorius. Now, if he's clever enough, I reckon if it gets too too dangerous. I would just let Pretorius go and stay within 15 seconds because, in all fairness, that is 7th position done and dusted with a 15-second penalty on that. I think the only man he really needs to worry about is Boycer, but Boycer is very, very far away from Sky. So that is a good win for the man itself. Ooh, deep dive. These two boys going to collision with each other. That's a bit of fender bumping and rubbing there. I don't think there's any need to be so defensive knowing that the man in your proximity has got a 15-second penalty. Just let him go. There's no ways he's going to make that up unless you are excessively slow. Kavir's on the other hand, the man that I think we're really struggling today just because of, it looks like he has damage, but I cannot confirm it because he started off well and then worked his way backwards, and for unknown reasons that I can think. Heineke, on the other hand, I haven't really spoken about him a lot. He is from Sarko Racing. He's being chased down by Norkia, who did do a pit stop. One of the few individuals who has done a pit stop. Again, back markers only. Only Norkia, Cordy, Dia, Ryubar, and Wall managed to do pit stops, but I don't know whether that was planned or not properly planned. Maybe a misjudgment, because it seems like the rest of the grid planned it out for absolutely a one-way race from start to finish. So that's where Heineke sits in 14th. Victorious and those boys are still battling it out. And then of course we have the championship leader with less than 4 minutes to go. I reckon it's probably another 2 laps. A 7-second delta between himself and Esterhazy. A man that didn't qualify in pole. And again, I did say that if you qualify ahead of the pack, you will win this race. He has proven me wrong because he started off in second, managed to outrun Paul Fenter down the straight, got the race lead, and then, created a league on his own, representing Genesis Esport Racing, coming here for what I would guess, I believe, a probable race victory for sure. Ike Sky in the pits, the man that I assumed would have a brilliant race, went through the pits for a drive-through penalty. That has dropped him a lot, unfortunately for him. And I just spoken about him a couple of seconds ago, thinking that you don't need to fight anyone ahead of you, but he has dropped a few positions. Esterhazy, on the other hand, he has had multiple battles this evening or this afternoon, really fought it out with Vessels, Fenter, and everyone else around him, and he's currently in second place, slowly creating a gap between himself and Vessels. So he wants to secure that position, which I think he will most likely do. 2 laps to go. I'm going with this is going to be the penultimate lap of the race. Vessels in third, Fenter currently in fourth. Boersma, who managed to do a drive-through, didn't impede his race position, did drop him back about 25 seconds to the race leader or to Paul Fenter itself, which is unfortunate because he really put the A game on. Had a couple of Red Bulls and then put it on to get in there. Phenomenal drive from him. Farmer, on the other hand, solid as a rock. That's what I'm going. This is not your 5th place position at all, but it's going to be some great points for your championship fight to potentially become the MSA Cup Championship. And again, it was between himself and Boycer. Boycer currently in 8th, who is leading the championship, Palmer in second. I think that's going to be quite a hefty change after round 3's the result. Again, the championship takes a lot of points from everyone else, but in all fairness, I think by next weekend we will most likely have a new championship leader. Who else will follow him? That is the big question, because it's going to be the final race at Silverstone, and Silverstone will most likely define who wins the cup championship. And I can't even call it. Even though we have one race left, I can honestly not call who's going to win this. I think I just need to take bets on. And in all fairness, Kreylen's up there, Esterhuizen's up there, Wessels is up there, Paul Venter for no reason at all has put it down today. He's going to grab quite a bit of points. So top 3, ooh, tough. It's tough. I don't even know where Kreylen is, but he has come back with a bag. Esterhuizen has been rock solid throughout this race so far, so I reckon he's up there along with Wessels. Those two boys is my top 2, top 3 picks. Whether the other individuals will bring an A game back on for the final race at Silverstone, that is to be determined. But it's gonna be epic. Do not forget to check us out in 2 weeks time, because I can assure you, if today was eventful, next 2 weeks will be dramatic from all senses. Final corner for Kreylen, qualified second, led the race from corner 1, brings it around into the final section of the race at Hungaroring for his championship win. That is Kreylen for victory, representing esports by Genesis Esports Racing Team. Phenomenal race. Then of course we have Esterhuizen followed by Kreylen. Then we have Paul Venter in 4th, and then of course Boersma in 5th position. And I think not far from that will be Palmer. What a drive. These boys have done phenomenally well. Wessels doing his lap around the track, and that's kind of what I like to see. Just drive a bit further than what you would expect, and then I can at least have a better visual for you. Palmer bringing it out in the mix. What a race. What a race. I had lots to say. Lost a bit of comms here and there, and apologies for that. No idea why my cop switched off, but what a race. Good result there by everyone itself. So a couple of fumbles here and there. I honestly feel sorry for the likes of Donaldson, who's coming across the racetrack now. He really pushed as hard as he could. So did Heineke, so did Verweer. But in general, a phenomenal finish by everyone else. Let's just see if I can get the points for everyone to see from a race standing point. This is where we are with all the handicaps and so forth, along with the penalties. It will change here and there. Ooh, everyone jumping out of the server. Race finish. So for those on the stream, I thank you for your support. It has been absolutely phenomenal. In 2 weeks from now, we will go to Silverstone, as I have alluded. From me, a big thanks to the LNR community and of course MSA and our sponsor. Have a good afternoon. See you next time, and I hope to see you soon.